What is going on, everybody? Today is going to be a cool one because we have my dad's 2002 Mustang GT, and we've done quite a few mods to this thing, but it's been a while since we did anything to the car. And today we're going to be using LMR's Late Model Restorations SBE Cobra like big brake kit upgrade.
So we have a 13-inch rotor over the 11-inch stock. Big upgrade. Then we have the calipers themselves. Larger caliper in this kit, which is bigger than the standard stock GT caliper. Still 2 pistons, but larger. Big upgrade. This kit comes with the bracket, which is important because it won't work with the stock. Because you're increasing the diameter of the rotor itself, it's going to require the proper bracket for the 13-inch. It gives it the proper mounting distance. The kit also includes rubber brake lines, but we won't be using these because we've already upgraded to the stainless steel, but they are included.
Alright guys, so you've seen what's in the kit, so now we're about to get to work. We're going to walk you guys through the process. It might not be a detailed tutorial, but we're going to walk you through the process, take you along with us. Now this should be pretty straightforward and it should be pretty easy, but I don't know how that goes when it comes to working on cars. But it's just brakes, rotors, and calipers, a little bit of brake bleeding. So let's get to it, man. Okay, once you have the car jacked up, that's the first step. Obviously next, dude, I'm talking, bruh. What's wrong with this man? All right, so once you get the car jacked up, that's your first step. Next, we're gonna blast off the wheels, and that's what we're about to do right now. With the wheel off, we have the brakes exposed. First, we're going to remove the steel braided line, which is going to be a 5/8 socket. This might not be the same for you because we already have steel braided lines, but a 5/8 socket is what we need for that. Then we're gonna need 12mm socket to free up the caliper from the bracket, and a 15mm socket to remove the bracket. Let's get it going. First time working on the car?
It's the first time messing with brakes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Make sure to have a pan because you will have brake fluid dripping. Put the bolts off. Now we're just prying the caliper off. And it should come off, no problem. Fluid will drip out, so be ready for that. And of course, remove the old pads.
Ooh. Well, that's not that bad.
They're not that bad.
It's thinner on this side, see?
Yeah.
And it's thicker over here.
Now that's probably due to warped rotors. You're not...
Oh, there she is. Smooth and sexy. Come on.
With both 15 bolts out, you can now remove the bracket, which we have done. There she is. With the caliper and the bracket out of the way, the rotor, if not seized, should just slide right off. Go ahead and demonstrate, please. And there she goes. Bang bang. Here you guys can see we have the old rotor laying on top of the new rotor. 11-inch on top, 13 on the bottom. See, we got the new Cobra style caliper and our stock Mustang GT calipers here. Now, although at first glance it might not look bigger, the way the caliper is assembled is completely different. We know that the stock caliper has the bracket that bolts onto the knuckle. Here, the caliper and the bracket here are one. We actually lose 2 bolts, and 2 bolts are here. These bolts that we use for the bracket, no longer using that because the caliper is held on by these pins here and some clips. What's also interesting too is that the calipers have these, I don't know what you call these things, but they have these that hold them into place on the caliper itself, so everything kind of stays in place. I don't know, maybe this is easier and cooler, better, more efficient, but we're gonna install it and find out right now. You're gonna have to assemble the caliper like I may have said before. Just know that the kit does not come with the grease that you use to put on the, like a grease like this. Boom. Kit does not come with this. Make sure you get some. Doesn't have to be this, could be any other one, but you're gonna need it to put it on the contact points of the brake pads, which is gonna be on the bracket and on the face of the pistons here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Another thing we're losing too is we're not going to be reusing those stock brake pad clip things that would go right here. So another thing that's different about the Cobra style. The little retaining clip things that I was mentioning, and they just slide in to the piston, base of the piston there, and it holds it in place. Now one thing you do have to make note of, this pad right here only has one anti-rattle clip. It's supposed to go toward the back of the caliper. On the side it has the bleeder valve. Also, the holes here are in direction with the bleeder valve as well. Make note of that so that you don't get confused on which pads go where and what direction. Clips on the back, no holes. Bleeder valve side, we got our holes here. And the one anti-silent, anti-rattle clip pad is in the back on the piston side. Pistons pressed firmly in, whoops, pressed fully in, fully seated, as you can see. Now we're ready for the bracket. These little rubber things I think are just for packaging so that the clip doesn't get bent or smushed, because in the installation video of LMR, they were not present when installing. So we're gonna remove those.
I think. Yeah.
Once you have the bracket lined up and in its place, we're going to use the locking pin here. We're gonna slide it through right on this hole, and we're gonna use a C-clip as well to lock it in place. So what he's doing is pressing down on the bracket so he can slide the pin through.
There we go.
And now the pin is in, the head is fully seated on the bracket. Here we will install our washer and C-clip.
Yeah, there we go. Come on, just a wee bit more. There we go.
And just like that, we now have a fully assembled Cobra style caliper. Before we install the rotors and the calipers, we're gonna clean everything up with some brake clean real quick.
Agitation brush or something?
Yeah. Slide it over, line it up with the holes, and we'll bolt it down from the back. And there we have it. We have our caliper and rotor mated to each other. And now the next step is to attach the brake line. Got the passenger side all put on. We got the caliper, we got the rotor and the line installed, but we still gotta bleed the brakes. But why not just mount up a tire and see how it looks? I'm trying to talk and you're making noise. Okay, go ahead, man. Do the honors.
Come on, baby.
Hey, you fart.
That looks nice.
Does it though?
It fills it in really nice. That looks perfect. Fills in this wheel the way it should be from the factory. Those other rotors, they look puny. Makes it look right, like the way it should look for a car that's gonna be driven hard.
All right, so of course we got to do the other side, but I'm not going to film that because it's literally the exact same process. But we're going to do that, bleed the brakes, and then we'll show you the finished product. Whatever you do, whether you have steel braided lines or regular lines, just use the banjo bolts that they give you. It works.
And it'll save you a lot of time.
Yes. And so if you never bled brakes before and you don't know how, very simple. If you have two guys, one's in the car, press on the brake, hold it down. The other person's down there at the bleeder valve with a hose attached to it. Go into a container to catch the fluid, crack it loose, the air will come out, fluid will come out, close it. Then the person does it again. 1, 2, 3, hold, crack it loose, boom, repeat until no air bubbles are there. Start on the passenger side of the car, then go to the driver's side of the car. No more air bubbles, then you should be good to go. Make sure your fluid is topped off, and that's it.